Welcome to day 3 on our JaNEWary challenge piece by Eira Lynn Jones. And today we're going to look through from bar 11 onwards. Okay, what I will do is I'm going to play you from yesterday, bar 7, into today's learning so that you can hear how it fits together, and then we'll look in depth. Here we go. So this is me starting at bar 7, 3 and 4 and. Okay, now our left hand, if we first notice that, is following the same pattern that we were using yesterday. So we have the C, G, 3-1 fingering. We really bend that nicely in. Keep our middle finger tucked in, not tightly in, but just dropped in out the way. Okay, so we have that there. Right, so C, G, E, B, F, C, going to G, D, back down to the bottom. And on to our G. Okay, so that is our nice left hand pattern. Really nice and straightforward really today because it's following from what we did yesterday. And if you have done some of that practice where you weren't looking at the strings as you did it, that's really good as well. Okay, so then we have our top hand notes, and I want to draw your attention to the end of bar 11 going into 12 there, where we have G, F, E, D, C, B. So we've got a run of 6 notes, and there's all manner of ways of combining your placing in order to do that. So I want to draw your attention to something I said back on day 1, which was how our choices on placing affect the phrasing that we then deliver, the way we shape the sound and the pattern of notes. So we have a crotchet G or a quarter note G, and we have 4 quavers, but then we've also got to get 1 note lower. Okay, and remember that the quaver length or the 8th note length is how long it takes you to get from that note to the next note. So it's not that note, this series of 4, and then that note. Because that last note, da, da, dee, da, that C, is also a quaver or 8th note, and we need to lead us to that B. So we have some fingering choices. And one of the things that I noticed when I was just practicing it before starting this video is if I place 1, 2, 3 starting on that crotchet G, and then I have these, and then I go over, what it tends to do is it tends to bring out the note just before, brings out this 3rd finger as my thumb goes onto here, partly because of that act of going onto there. Kind of makes that note stick out a bit. And also if we think about where that note that is, I think, sticking out a bit, where it lands, it's on a 2nd quaver of a bar. It's not the 1st beat, it's halfway through a beat. So it's not a good note to have standing out, being more prominent than any others. So that led me to look at different fingering, and the fingering I've chosen for myself, and it might be different for you depending on how comfortable your fingers work and what might stand out or not for you. But what I've actually chosen to do, and it does involve doing a couple of crossovers, I've started with a finger 2 on the G. I am having my thumb ready on the F for security. Then I'm going to play 1, 2. Okay, so that's interesting because I'm crossing over in the same place I was just talking about now, But instead of crossing over from a 3 to a 1, I'm crossing over from a 2 to a 1. And for me, that doesn't bring out the prominence in the E note in this case. It allows me to lead to the other. So that might just be how my fingers work. Your fingers might bring out notes in a different way. And it might be that the best way for you to hear it is to quickly record yourself and then listen back. So think what fingering you're going to do, try that fingering, but record yourself, listen back and go, did anything stick out more than anything else? And if so, was it in an okay place? It's quite subtle, but it has an impact on how you play and on the phrasing and the feel of the piece. So I am settled for myself on finger 2 on the G, which I am placing over because it does belong to what's coming next. So I'm happy to have that connection feel. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So that's what I'm settling on for this right hand. So we've put that together with the left. So we start with C, G in the left. We have an answering E, B in the right, which I'm doing 1 and 2 because it's not quite as big as a fifth. We're only 4 notes apart there. So C, G, E, B, left hand coming up. 2, left hand's now on F and C. I've got 1 and 2 placed, crossing over, and then my 3s are going to land together. And actually, I'm going to try and place that final D as well in the right hand. So I play 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Notice it's on 1, like that. Okay. The other factor that will impact on your fingering choice as well is how comfortable it feels when you are playing it along with the other hand and what that hand's up to as well. So again, playing the 1, 2 was comfortable for me against the basses 3, 1. Okay. Second half of this section, so going from bar 11, 12, 13, my left hand's back to the C, G, my right hand's answering it with a B, E, like it did a couple of times yesterday. And then I'm going to do this first G with just a finger 2, because it's about to repeat. And then I'm going to put 4 on. And that's my personal choice, just for security, moving through those last 4 notes. Okay, so let's put all of today's together. So just starting at bar 11, I'm going to do it quite steadily so that you've got time to think and put these bits together. So C, G in the left, E, B in the right. Okay, here's our counting. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Well done. All right, join us on the play along videos where we'll do it a little bit slower again into that speed, and when we'll also try a much faster speed as well, just to see where your comfort zone is. Okay, well done.